Young PDS
PDS
PDS and ECG onim say arbitration International Court of Arbitration at the ruling on arbitration case at PDS at the better monim at the aba na PDS say or J ruling tumna and the lawyers so shemu yi na say who here so more at the review be aba so on at the aba or say or confirming some legal team currently reviewing the detailed decision to determine the next steps. But quote, PDS respects the integrity of the arbitration process and confirms that its lawyers are studying the detailed decision to advise on the next steps. In PDS and seminal. I'm just waiting. I was just doc because my mother has here praying.
PDS even I'm cover by. Actually, some people say we are going to this year. We more energy field. Say that concession agreement it was inherited. And I'm very companies here. The only thing that changed was the merger of the companies. Into me, I can say I'm happy say me are chalking some success with this PDS idea because arbitration we didn't go and be costly on my Ghana financially. And see, I think it's a step in the right direction. I know so the vindication, baby, but I know say NDC4 they always try to do some gymnastics. I'm not paying TV show is cry who a lot of gymnastics to involve people in Myanmar. Nancy saying PDS and sense me by and I think we should even go to the root cause. No more beboa ECG for no more to me I make it no efficient. Or share MPP ne the way we go about our things. We are not against privatizing some of these states' interests to bring efficiency. And I make NDC for this concession agreement with ECG no yeah they are almost starting. Who said President Mahama so said the PDS was not a problem, it was the handling. But I think say we should be happy, say at least systems will come higher juma. Say who say Mkrata ni be a PDS buy for the contracts no any valid no. Yewa His Excellency Nana Dankwa cancel contracts no. And the whole thing was handled in such a way, said the loss to the state has been very minimal. As occasioned by arbitration ruling. I think the only thing I lose here grants from Americans with that regard. And just to say one number one, we are hoping say you are able to manage the system efficiently.
Komori.
Demi by kind no yafa. Nemum. Say obi di ahwede ebafi na once na ba nya ahwede no nko na ebu anofo de odi ahwede no ba e no ono so ebu anofo bia eyeye Ghana mpenimfuo ban ne ede yewre ejidie ene ye bibia hye omumu akwadwo wo na yese wo ni PDF nkotena kokoam ni kokoam nkomo na nkrata asem bi ebema PDS dwumadi a wo bedie ndimu no hefo ni de dwumadi jawo owura Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia owura John Peter Mawu owura Benjamin Ajay Mida director eye die na mmara no say ade a ye condition precedent kwadwo ye ti hai Kaboro obetimi aba Adom TV studio the first of all I was say management and the party agree who is coming. Management amount time, producer amount time and some obetimi by his condition precedent. Asante say yankoto ayenda. It is over that I was only kakoto condition precedent. Aye then Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mo kwatena oye Emma ade a wase agi ansana na motu bia wo hwa yetimi atu wo mu jai di kwahye se mu de muntu ana mo akire na mo de aba when condition subsequent tietosu mienu aye de na PDS timi ko fa fake insurance guarantee ni bank guarantee bae na economic messiah owura Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia having worked at the Bank of Ghana, having gone to Zambia to support their Zimbabwe. I want to question my economy. If you ukoto brodo, I just want to say
that. Was it the one in charge of the economy?
Okoye, but now more inflation in 2004.
Was he the one in charge of the economy?
He was not in charge of the economy.
Na
Okoye, there's no need for Sarah grandstanding.
May say someone who has worked in the central bank before could not identify a fake bank guarantee, accepted fake insurance guarantee and fake bank guarantee. Now, document about one project about one agreement about one contract if your vice president.
But was he the one on the board?
If your vice president can cause this blunder.
How did he cause this?
But was it the one on the
one
board?
feeling nano ayekoto abaye obi to nyoma o se bi wani fe.
Maybe how did he?
When to me be when document.
Tobo. And now who can send him money? But allegations are making and they mean to na say
Tobo. Enyo de.
PDS ya say.
Mo ba mi is it what you want to touch our
opposition leader?
Oba hekil Bema dia and your bonnet. Bema hekil or Badia Bassa Javana. Is it when you know what the feminists of Mugu Kroma? Mumba Bema Gasa. Ghana for more sorry. Ghana for more sorry. I am Munti. And I've got joined the doctor. I am Misano. Mama may come as him. But what I say? It's vice president. Look what me hey, what me when you are clap about
Mr. Vice President. Not a committee, no.
What can committee?
Oh, there, Mammy Courage, Mammy Courage.
From a Lucy, may Sano, who may distort, who may disorganize him,
own disorganize it. Keep where didn't so keep you come back to it. Come on.
I never heard phone, so I didn't know what about Yakasaya. My real phone.
Richmond Roxon Esquire, head of communications for the Ministry of Energy. Richmond, good morning. With us, is what you're here.
Morning, thing.
When it comes to your friend the ruling, I'm sure they be out from where you said to you. It will be a kinkan. Ruling incident, what are the details?
My main chair wait here for na when that was for the opportunity. Issues now PDS, what they call arbitration. Basically, what they were looking for was $391 million and some other relief for the termination of the concession. Now, the concession, if we recall, in 2014. Government of Ghana, the United States government, signed the MCC compact. At the time, the United States government gave Ghana about $500 million to improve the power sector. Now, one of the things that the government was expected to do was to introduce private sector participation in ECG operations to improve ECG's overall performance. Now, the administration at the time, John Mahama's administration, was starting process now. Was a number of international companies expressing interest. Unfortunately, the NDC lost power in 2016. The NDC losing power in 2016, the Akufo-Addo government in 2017, over to a process instead of continuing with what had been started, was to sign a number of changes to what the decision has been. A very significant part of it here, structure now, ownership structure of the concession. One will the Ghanaian should have 51%, and then the foreigner or the investor will have 49%. Ordinarily, it's not a bad idea, but there are issues. If you want to do that, you look at. If you are looking at a concession, the concessionaire was expecting to raise over almost $600 million. If you are doing 51% for Ghanaian, what it means is that they're expected to raise over $250 million. Do we have the capacity? Now, we called through process now. They selected Miracle as a concessionaire. They added 3 Ghanaian companies and 1 Angolan company. or forming what today is known as PDS. Now, they didn't have the capacity. That is something that we all know. And there will be a lot of condition precedent. Before agreement, I don't know, before agreement, there are a number of things that you have to do. Now, those number of things, one of them was bank guarantee and or the man for ECG's assets. Because you're transferring ECG's assets to them, at any time, if they're unable to fulfill their obligations, what you do is that you trigger the bank guarantee. Now, at our cover all assets at the moment. The PDS couldn't provide that. They engaged government, and then government again changed it from bank guarantee to insurance guarantee. The insurance guarantee now the better, so apparently it was fraudulent, wasn't valid. Because company now the man our could our Qatar, they didn't have the capacity to do. The government terminated the concession agreement. PDS has not been happy since then. And then they've engaged in a number of legal battles. They went to court in Ghana. They lost in 2021. They went to arbitration, London Court of International Arbitration. And this time again, so what they are looking for, they've lost. So that's the background. And for us as a government, it's good news. What it means is that ECG any liability there, and the government of Ghana does not have any liability towards PDS. Okay. But actually, what I have said so far and where we are, we shouldn't have been here in the first place. Ban that down or yet due diligence or call through the process or making sure that the local companies were capacity, or making sure that the concessionaire were capacity, and wouldn't even get to the point where they will present a fraudulent document that will lead to termination. Okay. Basically, that's where we are.
But when we now with chairman, I've read there wasn't there one and a band down Ebinum was a banker 190 million or so because of them development. Also, then to them.
No, what it is in the concession, no, I'm almost 500 million to be specific, no, $498.2 million. Okay. But I use the Mawaka 190. By virtue of that decision, American government cancelled compact because of how the process had gone. We lost $190 million anchor. Those monies would go into helping ECU's reforms. You see, that money is not money that is sitting, it's money that was due us as a country because of how the processes went within the period. You see the miscano. You see, only now, Attorney General is looking at it. Number one, to recover the car no PDS because PDS were managing, revenues were paid to them, and those monies still sit with them. They were in charge of their assets. You see, some assets still sit with them, and then on top, the Attorney General is looking at the options here. Because we lost that money through the actions of some people. The causing financial loss to say whatever the issues will be. He's looking at it, and at the right time, to exercise its powers and that. Either prosecution
or yet there or a sky been more fat Z.
That be. Or a sky under the compacts, now US we agreed to give Ghana. Now you use the part. Balance the worker 190. Because of that action, American government withdraw the miscap that were from Ghana. But in the last couple of months, His Excellency President, Honorable Minister and Finance, they've been engaging to see whether it's possible for us, for the government of America to reconsider its decision. Because you see, the government has also approved their private sector participation in ECG. But this time around, they're looking at billing and collection, and hopefully, as has been the case in the past, about a year diligently under the Mama one, and at the time, acting power minister, Nnawotwe. That process will still be seamless for us to get a concession.
Okay. And to say, or the what charge been more, by one of them, no other what charge or them 190 something.
I believe there, I don't know, Attorney General age, but I don't want to be the one to put that out. I'm sure that. And over the period, there are a number of investigations ongoing relating to PDS. I'm sure the OS, one of the issues, is investigating PDS, and That's one of the reasons former finance minister. And apart from that, I'm sure the Attorney General himself will have a strategy and then how he wants to go about retrieving the assets and holding people accountable. But the assurance is that people will be held accountable for their actions that led to this bizarre PDS. And then every single penny, every single asset of the state of ECG that sits with PDS will be recovered. That you have the assurance of government.
Now, a car privatization beyond him for the addresses, yeah.
What did I say?
Privatization of ECG, na him for the address.
No, see, first one, the cabinet approved process, to bring in a concessionaire and a number of concessionaires to look at billing and collection for ECG. At this point, they are in the process. The committee has presented a report in the process of engaging the transactional advisor. Once the transactional advisor is engaged, to advise on how the transaction should go. But learning from the past and how PDS has gone, the government's indication is to look for a number of concessionaires. Consider in the past, they both share ECG asset in Adama, one company. This time, they are looking at multiple concessions so that when it comes to the risk, you'll be able to mitigate that. So let me reiterate that the government is not selling ECG. The government is not handing over ECG to a private company. The government is looking at private sector participation in an aspect of ECG, which is billing and collection. Therefore, Ghana, the Greater Accra and Koto Brace, removed from Greater Accra, so another company, so that you'll be able to monitor and track and hold them responsible for what they do instead of one company. That's where we are. I'm sure that with time, there will be briefing to the government on the selection, the process for selection of the concessionaire.
Okay, all right. Richmond,
I mean, usual opportunity. It's something that I'm doing since I'm here. Anytime all light bodum, number one, we are not having any load shedding. We don't have any power issues. We recognize us, and from time to time, there are people who may have challenges. BBS when the area and the light to all light to Michelle immediately for ECG 0302 611 611 and lodge a complaint to them. Technical team, Baba Boshe, they will look at the problem, they will call you, and then they will ensure that it's resolved. If you all like to do, I don't assume that there's anything like do so. There's nothing like that. Immediately call ECG, go to their office, contact them via email or any of their social media platforms, and then they will respond to it.
Okay, all right, Richmond Rocks Esquire, the head of communications for the Energy Ministry. Yeah, Kabiru.
What's that?
But so I call for the government on the abrogated contract.
Now, wako fadi we are now ushechile boni officer. Now yacho now say machomwa. Do you know that you were in this country? We didn't know inside minority 4 year answer na sa contract no terminating. But yaba yese kofa bank guarantee bra. That is to test your capacity. Say, ochina bi an oto to ye edwumaku na say a ebetimi a trigger that guarantee. Na kabi kura ni aye dey try your home bi. Also woni that would have been the end of the whole agreement. Owura Alhaji Bamudu Babi said that mo anya dey amonko for insurance mbara.
Again, if you don't have evidence
of he was the lead.
How was he the energy minister?
So government of Ghana set up a committee for a takeover. Now vice president or sector minister that sector minister no move the head of the team. Masa, I said when the car catches as them when you one dance here. As some no be no twa ho dia dance here. No say corner go for insurance bra. Osa go for insurance guarantee by insurance is fake.
We do not constitute a single committee, formal committee for PDS takeover.
Enti guarantee and as a contract back open krata Dr. Mahmoud Bami and Marriam. You for my 16 regions and krata meguni table so. Let's go to I am happy. Say the ko nyina no na PDS for mo na so the infantry the audacity somebody here court ayesa abu abom ba bi omu be ko bia na nanom tumi nti e be bu abom but said the American ama papa aba say me nua rich kai no ura mahama ura John Abdullah Jinapo ura to force ahyem komo pass ya ye hwe say US aban sika ode na dangwa kufu ado no ura Mahmud ba mi amu ho ahinti otwa mu ama biom abesa timi aba ediyesi Dr. Ate munkan ya no kweda nze monani ebetumi ya twi bia ko akura ase na omunyi na di so mfa so that is how we do the
omo sa half truths ne propaganda omo ye nti anakoyo anya asem ye no bi na menu ate hedi
na koyo asem
menim say ye yewura
na koyo anya asem
what's it
na koyo anya asem who ye dance ni who ye dance
okodi ya ne twedi edi bi na woye ndc for who say yewura about me menim say so tene baby odwen ne ho mo na mo wa ba mu aniama na efofo mu amonhu mo left from right otone baby sa PDS bibi amubeye bia mo pete mo pe kwan bi de ne bem but enyo no na ote abamu yakofa Airbus scandal ebebo no ema you abrochefo nyina investigate Ghana president sending nua akwaje 4 million euros because of blame
Airbus na omadi mu asebo wi
na yeti say yeti abamu wafa ye ni nua take over black voter mine ebase president yetimi nya ne ho nsem ka corruption ni sa nyama ne kan ye mrete semo
maza
sa matter of PDS number 1 let me put it on record say there was no committee there was no formal committee set up for PDS but in this so they know that they cannot compete say ba say yenka say we be say they cannot compete into omotena kwa entro bro mo bre yo mutimi ede yeba me abehye PDS mu kra kire say papa no ne hu ni problem and a guarantee is a guarantee omuko arbitration if the fact that so asem na mo kan kra mo bre yes mo konya papa ne ho asem de munya a guarantee if that thing was even a problem it would have shown up in the arbitration. But the issue was that guarantee krona omukofo finally omodeba was fictitious. It wasn't not that the problem was a change from a bank guarantee to an insurance guarantee. The processes are ukoje bank loan cry. The underwriters, there's an insurance and a compliance department in the bank making sure say wonye liability. And it's the same processes for an insurance guarantee. Me metina hanye mo ha when kasem. And so money international organizations I investigate mo. Mo president ni nua indicted. Mo na yete ha black voter mine upper east so saying president Otia Kunya so ni nua age aboso ankofo ni omo
business.
Maybe then the other people, the Azuma resources. But there was that back and forth. I'm here chinchi mamonsaje. I truly believe that you're chinchi mamonsaje. So if you want to go on that tangent, they came out several times. Namu for job letterhead. Namu yese. But the loan for this thing only came up when a Minister of Finance, I think one of the banks in the African countries. And see, if you want to misalign and malalign people, it's very easy to do it about your people. But to be able to say, I mean, it's neither here nor there. Especially when MPP abanya and I say the guarantee no was fraudulent. Ya antena yensa so antena yenan so say ye janisa.
Kabori is o mo kaza go that some that o.
Kwadu. Arahu sempa woman
say. Enche me be phone lines.
Arahu sempa woman say anokre mpeni say oje powder for adobon. And na dey myself me di ground 12 house. The MPP should set me nearby free. Very fine personality. But you know, so. Because Kwado said, "Yeah, mommy, pa, who the social media and her Facebook Live was the man for born na home for Nadia so fancy or you pa. Then so na some no can mama na juma pa. Pinya ba adia nya de nyo. Ya so Kwado na TSC Kwado. Kwado TSC na multimedia wura say me ba ebia Savannah Regional Kabore se o Kabore FM wo hono na mpese metira me nkura batan mu me ne Kabore enhyehyɛ magye Kabore FM abeka multimedia busuaku kese no eno boni be ne ho me ne Kabore adi no wo a me Kabore so obegye no boduma wura atu ama me so ma pene magye ne wode ama eno no ba TV so fa PDS ho sai
my only issue was that problem now. Obi oye vice president or tini be besom Ghana or or Jane. Why
said that show by Kutupa? And I'm Mamma Casam said, oh, say. Ewiase mu wo ho anipa bu wo ho a de yeshira no yeshira no na so wura mahama mo ka se DKM nyina ya na dia mo ka se na yire ene ne papa yi wo hotel wo Dubai mo ka se
with regards to you about that
so
they all ka wanu no kra no
wa kan ka kire wa samu adanse ye wo ho is it not true say president vice president Mahmoud Bawumia was part of the team that led the PDS.
There was no formal committee. Computer woman ewa ha. There's committee that was set up. Okay. There was a problem with PDS. Buying na etia konya na so rectify problem. But propaganda
phone line no.
Propaganda
lines na that TV no so no. Na frɛ na ye ne won nko ye ntie wo so adwen kyerɛ enkoma ye de okay already enya aban to ma mfa aban. So say aban papa aban so ahoma
no nya aban papa
aban good morning
mami tia mi boss Kabori kase nteme ba no wo hospital aban mi tia no na mi tia Nanmos for operation director Kenebua any land ministry ho nyina ejuma omu ye ke omu be kuetia illegal money kase mi sister say 8 years Ghana for the ma oma ban eye Akufo-Addo aban e die no mutimi di ye bua ye Ghana for mu ba ya ahutire ye hu bi da kronu katasi se pro ye dream ana mu di breye aya na mi hu youth bi ti say ma mi say omu ti MPP tia na mi wura huwa mo man Ghana enya mi nu kata hwe kwanya His Excellency President Mahama edi o man ya tutu kwan mu a enne ye sika temutina mu vice president amudi ni ba ye to oba be kuatia aba be fight here oba be magana dollar ejina obe free akonya to not dollar nam 18 cedi mudi ni ba Ghana for say fa ni yeden nti kata mu sister say do mu kata ba be mu adi 20 30 years that.
How do people lie with such
okay all right Yamfa Kofi good morning. Hello Kofi.
Yeah, hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Bajo mami we.
Potom kasepi enzama.
Okay.
Jomro.
Enzama we.
Jomro.
Jomro.
Oh, apo kenwe.
Nyamra Adom na da ko.
Bete o. Mami dio.
Yo, Nnawotwe. The one is Kabore. And this no Kabore. Ono intro so nikasa intro. Masa amanzuri nyakobo be yuase no amanzo omunye ganso omuda amanzo anytime be amanzo na ni black na nso no ba bi so bi ofa okopi amanzo dekwi okọ hospital na wo elembre odekwi amanzo ganso obi anye ganso omuda na ndi sifo na atro said the Mahama kan e say atro na mo de e say o population o di atro ndi obi aye atro when ayo akonya no pia ye ganso
okay
so no munjai
all right yo me da say also bet me afre na ye dey komo Mohammed good morning.
Morning abu
mami ntie we Mohammed
dere amiasi but discussion amu ye dey papa because if you akimoda e chanka mankwanta ku bu efre ni chanka mankwanta na Mr. Kabore dey o ye good papa me follow na che saying this for communicators bia amomo nko radio station bia so okasa papa na me sister so ono so ye good na so ne de emsa amfama no say o defend na enyeyi be Kabore de ne kasa de me papa se mi nyano pa kabano wan ni be shia pa ti Kabore ma me sister so ono so ye good bet Ndede amfa.
Okay. You. Mami mfo before fra home and so na me ndin komo. So for Mami, good morning.
Morning, no chief.
Mami, meet you.
You are no paid the message more than from Dr. Mahmoud Baumia. Honorable Mabisa Kunsin, Shell, Lloyd, Shell, JFK, General Secretary for Papa Michelle, and unpaid. No question, the castle MP. Press conference, away and away near Monson. So, a patch, Interior Minister, Crowley Jumon. Or patch, President in the Chrome with Jumon. If the Interior Minister, no one investigation, Uncle Katwa, and confirm Mabo and Sister Nawaka and Oboa. They say, Castle, you name say, in quantum ponton and other China, the baby empty. It's in Reynolds, on my trail, say, almost up to put in that damn family, the idea of Castle.
Okay. And you know, Nadia or the buyer, and no. Hello, Collins, good morning. Collins, good morning.
Morning.
Mbajo Mamintiwe.
Now, could you end this forecast and say, she said 2032, she said, then that's how time no, almost remember my be man. What's about Papa? Now, she said, then, what's no moon Korea and the 2022 no one to remember my be next autumn, then be Pim Dambadiana. I'm going to say, Mocasano, then Uncle Galam saying so. Could you? I'm saying this is the idea who said in this phone. Now, in so far, could you almost was and no was it? Almost bag I'm saying, almost Kebija, no more could be the every side. The Kebi site, ya Kebi site, Madame Park, my question is Cavita. Obisu away my young question is Cavita. I find one question, Obisu first Cavita. On the end is me,
all right, you, Mate, Medasi. My main comic Roma Hunter West, Namin Chia. Of Edward Ansa or Chrome, Edward Ansa and Chrome, Michel Papa, Stephen Kujo, Ewa Chavane, Michia Wonso, Richard Yao Degbe, Ewa Akweda, Michiao, Mosemo Shaya Papa, Paul Kweko, Ewa Cape 3 Point, Michia Wonso, Andrews Bedu, Ewa Achoma, Michiao, Richmond Mensa, or Lower Deskov, Michia Wonso. Lemuel Athabrace, and so share. Good morning to you. Francis Mensa Bedu, senior L Bedubonso Senior High School, or no El Sankor, Michel Papa of Francis Mensa Bedu. Frederick Quason, Butre, Mr. Frederick Quason, Michel O Butre, I will show you. Ora Joseph Christian Kofi, JC Kofi, Buzia, Michel Wonso, Joseph Kujo, Jamra. Michiawo Godwin Tibua Acha ewo enyano for nyina misima bazawe bozawo badiboduma mu misima be mo atu duma na ya hwe next time sambo ozo so de nyamno meza na ewo na ewo amanda so ya uni ntimeda say sana pe odo afidie to house hwe Minia Kabori, PR of the Motherlands and Natural Resources Ministry, Otenenka, Dr. Ekwiyamwako, Deputy Communication Director for the Dr. Baumia campaign team, or a member of the MPP's communications team. Wow, share the VIP, you know, Yadasi, so to me, my account want to pay. On behalf of the production team, sound, camera, and you'll be no lighting for you, Miss Medasi. Yen Shabio, Yami Adoma, now try the enemy. Good morning.